Hi, welcome to my channel and thank you for watching the video. Today we are going to discussing about the types of blocks and categories of code blocks in Scratch. Okay, so let's continue. In here, as you can see, I have mentioned or I have give the example of types of block. In here, you can see that we have three types of block and code blocks and Scratch, which starts from the head blocks. We have stack blocks and we have reporter blocks. What are they? Let me show you with the examples. So let's start from the head blocks. Head blocks are these kind of blocks. This is called head blocks, which they have a rounded curved on the top and a bump at the bottom. These are called head blocks, which you can connect a stack blocks with the head blocks. So head blocks are also have another ability that they can work one driven script. For example, if we give any other if we snap any other stack blocks with the head blocks, so head blocks can help us to start an action for us regarding the script. So this was the head block. We have types 1, 2, and we have so on other. Okay, this was the head blocks. Let's move on to the stack blocks. What is actually stack blocks? In here in Scratch, most of the codes in Scratch or code blocks are stack blocks. For example, these are called stack blocks. The one you can connect them after the or you can snap them with the others or others code blocks. For example, like this, these are called stack blocks. We can snap them with every other block. For example, you can see we can snap them with each other. So this is called stack blocks. We have a lot of stack blocks, as you can see everywhere. In control, most of them are our stack blocks, and these are the examples. And stack blocks have a bump at the top and have a bump at the bottom also. So this is called stack blocks. Okay, now let's move on to the last one, which is reporter block. What is actually reporter block? With the example, I would like to show you. For example, these are called reporter blocks. Okay, these are the reporter blocks. These doesn't the reporter blocks. They doesn't have bump at the top and at the bottom. They are the blocks which can be connected with the other stack blocks. For example, like this. So these are called reporter blocks, which we can report the x and y position of the axis, xy position axis, and so on other, like you can see. So these are the examples for the reporter blocks. Using reporter blocks, we can fit them inside other blocks. This is how we do. Okay, I hope you understand about the types of block. Okay, the types of block we are done. I will revise it again. Hat blocks, which we can find all of them in the events, and we have one block in the control also, which is the when I start as a clone. Okay, another one we have the stack blocks. Stack blocks, the rest of the blocks, the one you can directly snap them with the hat blocks. For example, these are all stack blocks, all of them. Okay, this was the stack. The reporter blocks or the blocks which you can snap them or fit them inside the stack blocks. For example, when space key pressed, mouse down, we can say mouse X, mouse Y, and answer. So these are all called reporter blocks. Okay, I hope that will be clear for you and you understand about the types of block. Okay, the types of block is done. Now I would like to provide information about the categories of code blocks and Scratch. If you see in code palette, we have different categories, around 9 categories. Okay, let's start from the motion, the first category. First category is a motion category or motion code blocks. In motion code blocks, you can give movement, placement of the character or a sprite. You can give them going to random position, direction, and rotation, and so on other. Okay, this was for the motion. Let's move on to the second category, which is looks. In looks category, you can you can control your sprite's appearance, background appearance, custom appearance, and you can display a text also using look blocks. Okay, the size of the sprite and so on other. Okay, let's move on to the next category, which is sound category. In sound category, you can do the codes for controlling the volume of the sound or music, and you can provide some musics also using these blocks. Okay, let's move on to the events. Events is the in events code block. You will find all the most of the hat blocks, and you can use this hat block for the event driven script. Okay, so for example, if you want to start a code, you need to use the hat blocks or event blocks. So you can start event from event blocks. Okay, we move on to the control blocks or control code block, one of the categories. And control, you can control your character. You can give them using wait second. You can make them repeat like using loop. You can give them if conditionals, you can use conditionals and making clone also. Clone of your character or sprite. We move on to the next category, which is sensing category. In sensing category, you can do the codes or you can control your, you can give some conditions using sensation. If the player touching or if the character is touching with the another sprite, or the sprite is touching with another sprite, if the sprite is touching some color, you can give some asking and answering question. You can control the mouse location. Where is the mouse location, mouse X and mouse Y, and so on other. We move on to the operators, and operators you will find most of them are the reporter blocks, and in here you can do uh, arithmetic blocks. In here you can find the mathematic, for example, multiply, minus. You can use your condition. You can pick randomly greater than, less than. These one usually we use for the conditionals, and you can join some text. You can join some conditions, and this was for the operator blocks. Let's move on to the last or the second last one, which is variable block, code block. In variable code block, you can store data and you can make your variable from here. You can delete it. You can set your variable. You can change your variable. You can show and hide also. Okay. So the last one is making variable. You can make your own variable. Sorry, not variable. You can make your own block. This is a place where you can make blocks and you can make your own block, and you can use it as a variable or you can use it as a condition also. Okay, so this was all for the categories, and these were all for the types of blocks, types of code blocks and Scratch. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot from this project or from this video. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share to your friends.